The broadcast is live.
Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, did the music go? Welcome. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. We have a Valley Voice edition. Today we have our special guest, Insta-Garry, who is a Win Calls the Heart driver.
We're so excited. Thank you, Gary, for coming today.
Hi.
I think we have some people already live watching. You know what? Let's just get to it. Let's get to the good stuff before we get to the real stuff. Tell us about Kevin's Insta story that he posted just the other day with the matching soul patches.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
It happened this way. I as you can see, I have a mustache. I grew my mustache. I started when I went into the police department many, many years ago. Everybody called me Kid. And I decided that if I had a mustache, then they wouldn't call me Kid anymore.
Oh.
So it took me a little bit of a while, you know. So finally I had a mustache and I never, ever shaved it off.
Okay.
Then I started about every 5 years, I'd shave my mustache off just to kind of see what I used to look like, maybe at one time. And scare my kids and scare my friends. And so one day I was sitting in the van and Kevin and I were talking, and he's got this mustache. He's got this little thing. And I said,
soul patch.
You know what? I think I'm going to cut my mustache off today. And he said, seriously? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to do that. So he said, okay, well, I'll tell you what. He says, I'll set it up with in the trailer where they get their hair and makeup done, and I'll talk to the hair lead and see if she'll do that. And I said, great. And then he called me and he says, come on in. So I sat down. I sat down in a chair and she cut off my mustache and the next thing, they made this little soul patch, and the lead makeup artist, she came over and she applied this thing on my chin. So I thought, hey, that looks kind of cool. So Kevin was standing behind me and we were acting kind of silly, obviously.
Right.
And then I went to the car. And I had a picture taken by the AD on the show, and I jokingly call him my he's my man. He does all my posting. He does all my stuff because I don't. Well, you've already figured it out. I don't know which end of a phone to use. Okay. I'm so old. We use tin cans and a string to talk to one another. So this is really tough. Anyway, Andrew took a couple of pictures and it went out, and oh man, I got a lot of comments, good and bad.
And we saw that post.
And the worst one was from my son. He said, "Get that off." So I had it for that day, and it was it was a fun thing to do, and so it was pretty easy. I didn't have to shave it. I just had to
peel it off.
Right off.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Under the mask, it didn't work very well.
Yeah, no, the video was a lot of fun. That was fun to see when Kevin put that up yesterday. We were laughing like, this is perfect.
Perfect timing.
We totally got to ask Gary about it when he's on now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got the shades back out because you guys both have the shades on too.
Yeah, exactly.
So funny. Go ahead, Julie. Go with the next question.
Oh yeah. Let me move on to my questions then. So we already talked about this a little bit. You're a retired police officer, correct?
I did. I did 30 years of service for the city of Vancouver, and I retired as a sergeant in 1999.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a couple of police officers in our family, and I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So, when did you start driving for When Calls the Heart?
9 years ago.
Okay, season
Okay.
1.
Day one.
Season 1.
Day one, I went to the airport. I picked up the actor at that time who was on the show, Daniel Lissing, and
Yep.
Daniel Jack, the
Yep.
police officer. Picked him up at the airport. Picked him up, and we formed a bond day one, and yeah, the rest is history. Yeah, I've been with them, and about 3 years ago, I kind of retired again because I was getting a little long on the tooth when it came to the hours that we put in, and so they allowed me to work just on that show, So that, yeah, so I keep saying I'm going to retire every year, and then I come back again. Yeah.
Keep coming back for the fun. So
That's
that's a good
okay.
question. We wanted to know if you had driven for other shows, or how does
Yeah.
that work? Well, now we know you only do When Calls the Heart.
Yeah,
but-
no, I started long time ago. I've been in the business now nearly 19 years.
Okay.
Okay.
After I retired, I went into civilian security for a bit of time, and I had a friend who was in this business, and I went out and I got my driver's license so that I could make myself more valuable within the industry. I was able to drive the big trucks
Okay.
with the license, and I was on a show back in the day with Little Miss Breslin, who was in Vancouver shooting a show, Chestnut Hero of Central Park. And it was on that show, her driver had to leave and go to another show. And he asked me if I would be willing to fill in for him. And I said, yeah, that I don't know what you do, but so they gave me a van and they gave me a gas card, and
oh, you get a gas card too?
Nice.
Oh yeah, I don't pay for my own gas.
Wow.
And so I started cast driving on that show, and then I met the transportation captain, who I've now been with for 16 out of those years.
Okay.
Wow.
And I worked with him and with the crew right up until about 3 years ago, and then I asked if it would be okay if I just came and worked on this show, and they said, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I like it. It gives me an opportunity to keep retiring.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that opportunity to
That's
keep
right.
retiring.
That's right. Exactly.
So tell us. Go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
Absolutely. I'm like, we answered actually a couple of questions there. How many other drivers are there for When Call the Heart? I know that Erin has, I believe her name's pronounced Shauna.
That's correct.
And are there any others besides you and Shauna?
Yeah, no, that there's actually 4 vans on this particular production, and the reason for that is there are contractually drives that take place.
Okay.
Erin and Shauna have been together for since day one.
Okay.
And myself, when Daniel left the show, sorry.
That's okay.
When Daniel left the show, I had to make myself available to for other contracts, obviously, and that's how it works. Each of the actors by contract have and or don't have drivers.
Okay.
And
this is so interesting.
Yeah, and some are courtesy drives, and the production tries to make it as available as they can, obviously.
Right.
There are some days when there are no cast that are being driven, other than maybe for Shauna and Erin, and then myself and the other 2 vans. We still have a lot of things that we do. We're just not driving cast.
What
Okay.
else do you do?
So here's what happens, generally speaking. If it's a day when I have a cast pickup, I will go to their residence, or I will go to the hotel, or wherever production has them staying.
Mhm.
I will pick them up and take them to what is called the circus. The circus is where the trucks and the trailers are parked, where hair and makeup, wardrobe is.
Mm-hmm.
And the set for on when calls is very, very close. It's probably a short block away.
Okay.
Okay.
So pick up cast, take them to their trailer. From there, they are then under the direction of the third assistant director, whose responsibility it is to make sure that they get into hair and makeup, that the wardrobe people have got their wardrobe in their rooms, so they're ready to put that on as soon as they get the word. And what I am then doing is I'm in what's called the loop. And the loop is we have a van at the circus and
Okay.
a van at set.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody gets into the van at the circus to go to set. That person at set then comes back to the circus. So we have around and around and
Yep.
around. We continuously keep looping.
Okay.
So at the end of the actor's work, we then take them home.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this might be at the end of the day. And if it's at the end of the day, then I will just continue going. I will just go home.
Okay.
Okay.
If they're finished, for example, if I pick them up in the morning and they're finished halfway through the day, I will take them back to their residence. Then I will go back out and I will get back into the loop
Okay.
to assist.
Yeah.
Because there's lots and lots of things that need to take place. For example, hair and makeup may need something taken from their trailer to set.
Mm-hmm.
Wardrobe may need something taken from their trailer to
Right.
set.
Okay.
Somebody at set may need something taken back to the circus.
Okay.
So there's always something happening. We get downtime, certainly. I mean, it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
But it's constant. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why they call it the loop.
Right.
That's why
Yeah.
they call it.
You are just looping.
Keep moving and keep making
There
the
you
loop.
go. There you go, Sarah.
Right?
You're hired.
Right.
So do your hours change depending on like what they're doing on set that day?
So what happens is this: the day before, I am given a time by the transport captain.
Okay.
Says, tomorrow your responsibilities are to either pick up A or B or C,
Okay.
and or come out here to the circus.
Okay.
Okay.
And the time of all this is dependent upon the shooting schedule of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, for example, right now, tomorrow morning, I know that the day starts for the crew at 7 a.m.
Okay.
Okay.
But my boss has told me to be there before so that I can get in the loop.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, I'll have a little bit of breakfast before I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you go grab yourself some breakfast before you jump in the loop?
We have catering. We have catering.
Yeah, craft services.
There's breakfast every day.
Nice.
Yes. And so you arrive and you grab some breakfast and then you go to work.
There are perks.
But you're available for it.
I also
Every
jump in with the
day,
professional staff on.
every day the time may change. Tomorrow it might be a 7 a.m. call. We call it a call.
Mhm.
Right.
And then it may progress time-wise so that on Friday there might be a later start. And that's all contractually, once again, because the actors and cast and crew have to have so many hours between their finish and start of another day.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So all these night shoots that we've been seeing, have you been hanging out to the middle of the night in the loop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a night shoot, we work. The transport department is typically first in and first out.
Right. Okay.
Transport is responsible for anything that moves.
Yeah.
Any vehicles, anything that happens. So right off the bat, the generator operator, the Genny op,
Okay.
comes in before crew call and sets up everything, gets the lights on, gets everything going. And the transport department opens up the rooms and turns on the lights and gets on the heat, and in the winter gets on the air conditioning, in the summer makes sure that the things are ready to go for the cast.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So what's the latest or earliest in the morning the next day you've had to stay on set to get people back home?
What's the latest?
Yeah. Or if you went past midnight.
Well, yeah, like I said, it depends. If I have a cast who's in all day, then when we wrap, I take the cast home.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, the most of the cast are about 25-30 minutes away from the circus. So take them home and then I go home.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen that they've been filming pretty late recently.
Well, we haven't had a lot of night shoots, but we have had, I think so far in this season, I'm going to say maybe 3 nights. And that's simply because there are certain things that need to be done at night. They can make night. They can turn a house, for example, or they can turn a set into night pretty easily.
Right.
All
right.
you have
You've
to do,
seen some of those pictures.
That's right.
Yeah.
All you have to do is to enclose it in a black curtain, and you're in night.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's some exterior work that has to be done, and the exterior work has to be done in night. Well, then you have to. They figure out, well, we need this amount of time to shoot this amount. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start crew call on this day at this particular time, because we know that sun sets at 7:24 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means then that we're going to have to wait until it gets really dark, so we can start shooting maybe at 8 p.m. And we've got 3 hours of shooting. So now that's going to work out to maybe 11 o'clock before we're finished. Okay. So the schedule, the shooting schedule, is kind of dependent upon what's being worked on.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask one of the viewer questions.
Yeah.
Okay. One of them says, "Do you have a specific contract for an actor that you drive, or does it always change?"
It always changes. What happens is an actor's agent will say, contractually, we would like to have a driver for this cast person. We would like that to be exclusive. That means that only that driver and that actor work together.
Okay.
Nobody else rides in the van with them. And also contractually, some have in the past, they've asked for a specific kind of vehicle. I haven't had that, but other shows have. An actor has wanted, something. And if production can provide that, then and contractually they will provide it. Other than that, we drive standard vans that are capable of carrying. Well, now because of COVID, we've had to block off the front of the van so nobody sits with me. I'm behind a plexiglass shield, and there are sometimes 2 actors or 2 people behind me in the van, and the seat behind me is put down
Okay.
so that there isn't anybody directly near me.
Okay.
And obviously, I always wear my mask in the van when I'm
Yeah.
transporting somebody,
Right.
because the we're trying to follow the COVID
Yes.
Right.
protocols.
Right. Right.
And you know what, we've done 2 seasons now and we haven't had any problems. So
Awesome.
we
Right.
are
You're doing
trying
it right.
we're
Right.
trying really, really hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As somebody who works in the ICU at a children's hospital,
Yeah.
so I'm a code team and trauma team.
Exactly. You
You're
would
in
know
closed
exactly what I'm
space.
talking about.
Mhm. You're in an
Lots-
enclosed space. Yeah.
That's right.
You're doing it. You're doing it right.
That's right. That's what we
Mhm.
do.
Yep. Absolutely. Super interesting. Right.
I love it. So, who controls the music in the car?
My van, my rules. I'm just kidding.
I love that.
I'm just kidding. I have, fortunately, in my van, I have satellite radio.
Okay.
So I have access to everything. And so what I do is that I will ask whoever I'm driving, do you have a particular kind of music that you would like to hear? Now, in a lot of cases, the actor, the cast person, also is using the van as a work environment. They're making phone calls. They are they're studying. They're looking at their lines.
Right.
They're reading the script. They're working. And so what I will try to do is to put music on, but it'll be background music.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if at the end of the day and the actors are tired, I'm not going to put on some heavy rock metal music, because obviously they wouldn't want to be hearing that. So I'll put on something like the Spa Channel. They give Gary a hard time oh, I like driving with Gary because he's always listening to his Spa Channel.
The Spa Channel.
Spa Channel. I didn't know that existed.
Oh, it does. It's the elevator music.
I better not put that on in my drive. I got a 30-mile drive. I want a driver to take me to the hospital at the weird hours I work.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the other thing too, is that it makes it nice, because when we do have long hours and late nights, the cast can sit in the back and they can close their eyes and they don't have to worry, because it's my job to take care of them and to make sure that they get home safe and sound. And all of the drivers in our industry are professionals. We try to drive professionally. We try to make sure that their experience is such that they don't have to be
holding on to the
exactly
handles.
Exactly.
I think it's a great job for a retired police officer who's going to know the area so well also.
Yeah, but I can't carry a gun and I can't use my license siren. Come on.
Not as fun.
But I know that the driving piece is such a huge part of being a police officer, and you just have that experience behind you, all those years of experience, and that's something you can totally bring to this. So
yes, absolutely. And we do a lot of driving in the course of a season. I will put on, 4 months, I will put on maybe 6,000, 7,000 kilometers. Now, okay, you're in the Americans.
I can do the
do the.
Julie can do that.
You'll have to do the conversion, but it's a lot of miles.
A lot.
It's a lot of miles. Yeah.
I'll figure it out. That's my deal. I do the math. I'm a critical care pharmacist, so it's all about the math.
All about the math. And I'm all about not doing the math. So tell us, have you ever had anything like really unexpected happen while you're driving, or?
Oh, all the time. Well, from the downtown area of Vancouver, I don't know, some of your viewers may know, but Vancouver is the 3rd largest city in Canada. So therefore we have a lot of traffic. We have a decent rush hour traffic. and we can get into some pretty heavy situations sometimes. I have Google Maps on in the van, so that helps me avoid any congested areas if need be, accidents, and choosing different routes to get them home safe and sound, and the other way around, getting to work. Obviously, if they are sitting in the van on the highway, that's that's not very productive.
Right.
So we try to do the best we can to get them there as quickly and as safely as possible. But yeah, there's always something going on. Well, come on, you know the way it is. There's some really bad drivers out there, and so you always have to be prepared for that kind of eventuality, for sure.
So if you're not driving somebody and you kind of have some downtime, where would we find you on set? Or
except we usually have our vans parked in the same. Try to have our vans parked in the same place all the time, so that if people need a van, they know where to go to.
Okay.
They'll know. Okay, Gary's parked. The vans are always parked over there behind the generator, and that's where they will walk to. And or if they call, then we will drive up closer to set. But we try to stay away from where they are shooting, obviously,
right.
So that we aren't on camera and that kind of thing. So two things happen. They can either come to us because they know we are always fine, and it's not that large.
Right.
I mean, it's very, very simplistic. It's not hard at all. Yeah.
Okay, I have the math. So 6,000 kilometers is about 3,700 miles, and 7,000 kilometers is about 4,300 miles, a little bit more than that. So that's about how many miles. Our European, we have a bunch of European people. We'll wave to Mary, who's leaving chats here. She was kilometers for the win. So Canada is same, follows metric. As someone who works in science, I also follow metric system. So
right.
But the rest of the United States, not so much.
No, not so much.
Thank goodness that we can change our vehicles, and in my particular case, motorcycles, from kilometers to miles, so that when I go down to visit my American friends and do things in the United States, I just flip the button when I get across the border, and I know I'm going miles per hour.
Nice.
I was a miles per hour kid in Canada, obviously. So yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So Canada was previously miles per hour?
We sure were.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't go to all this weird kilometers,
metric
centimeters,
system.
Millimeters, all that stuff until I don't remember the year. It's been a while now, but yes, we were
English.
The English before that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Only the United States is, even England abandoned the English units.
Let's see, Mary, our European friend, she's wondering, she said, any biker stories to tell with cast members?
Oh, biker stories with cast members?
Does anybody else bike?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah. There are some cast members that have ridden motorcycles, and on other shows as well. And in most instances, that's more of a recreational on their own time type of thing. Mm-hmm. Because as I said, they have a van, and in that van, at the end of a work day, it's kind of nice just to be able to sit back, put your feet up, close your eyes, get home, and not have to worry. But I mean, cast, they're people. They're like everybody else. They've all got their hobbies, and they all do their stuff. Yeah.
Do you ever all ride together outside of work?
I don't ride
with everybody.
Yeah.
Other drivers.
Other drivers, yeah. There's a couple of other drivers. My transport captain, as a matter of fact, has a motorcycle, and he and I, on our days off, have ridden together. And I've been riding motorcycles for a lot of years, and before COVID, I'm a member of the Blue Knights organization, which is an international motorcycle club of serving and retired peace officers.
Yeah, yeah.
And 2 years ago, I rode to New York to the convention, because every year the convention is somewhere different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since 2000, the first convention that I rode to was Louisville, Kentucky. And I've been to Texas. I've been to, Harris, Pennsylvania. Yeah, everywhere. This year, coming up, or next year rather, the convention is in Ireland.
Oh, can't ride there.
And it's a long ride over the ocean. You know, a little wet.
A little wet.
A little wet. But so I get out as much as I can on the bike, and I enjoy it. I also rode motorcycles when I was in the police department.
Okay.
And I did that for about 3.5 years. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, rocking the Eric Estrada chip slick.
That's right.
You were probably better looking than Eric Estrada.
Making sure that you always went around the block twice, just so that people could get a second look, you know?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was so bad one time. I was sitting on my police motorcycle, and it was a Saturday night, and I was driving down a very, very busy street called in the entertainment area. And as I'm riding along, I'm looking over the sidewalk, and I'm looking. My boots are pretty shiny, and my brakes and everything else, and got my sunglasses on and everything else. And I'm looking over at people, and people are nodding and saying hi. And I forgot to look ahead of me, and I bumped into a car that had stopped. And the bike fell over.
Oh goodness.
Oh no.
And everybody cheered and clapped. Ooh! And then they had to come out. They had to come out on the road and help me pick up my bike.
Did you get much damage from that?
No.
Good.
My tire. I was only doing about 2 miles an hour, and the tire hit the bumper. There wasn't any damage. Just my ego.
Just yeah, that'll teach you.
Don't you believe that I wasn't on that bike and I rode out of there never to be seen again that night?
We have a question from somebody about, what do you love most about your job?
I love the people. You know, one calls is probably when it's a family.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a family. We've had babies that have been born over the last 9 years. Mm-hmm. We've had weddings. We've had. It becomes a family. It really, really does. I've watched the child actors on the show grow up. They're 9 years older.
Yeah.
They didn't even come up to the window of my van.
Yeah.
I could put my hand outside and pat them on their little head and, "Hi, Mr. Gary, how are you?" And "I'm fine." And I'd pat them on the head. Now they're driving their mom and dads to set. So you can imagine. And so what I love about it is, first of all, because I'm a little older, it's fun watching the kids. They've got piercings in their noses and in their ears and their eyes and their brows and their heads and tattoos, but they work so hard.
Mm-hmm.
They are such nice people. They come to work with a smile on their face. Work in the rain. We get a little bit of rain in Vancouver because we're in the rain belt a little bit. For those who don't know, Vancouver is north of Seattle, Bellingham area, and we're about 35 miles from the border, north of the border, the U.S. border. So we get a little bit of rain here.
Okay.
And the rain doesn't stop anything. We shoot sun, rain, snow, you name it. And for me, I just love it. Makes me feel young watching these young people, very respectful, very respectful people, and everybody, of course, has had a lot of fun giving me a hard time because of this Instagram thing,
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Insta-Garry thing.
You got a lot of followers, man.
Oh my gosh, it was so. You know what? I didn't even know what that was.
Right?
Yes, tell us about it. How did that start?
And I was one day I was driving with the lead actor and Aaron Krakow, and Aaron said, "Oh, by the way, Gary, I'm going to be talking to a few people today while we're moving around. I've got a fitting here, and I have to go there, and so on and so forth." She says, "Do you mind if I if I include you?" I said, "Oh, absolutely not." Well, anyway, at the end of the day came, and she started getting all these inquiries on her Instagram. Who's this Gary guy? Who's this driver guy? So she said, "Are you on Instagram?" I said, "No, I don't even know what that is." So I went home that night and I downloaded the program with the help of my son, Tyson. Because what do I know?
Right? That's what your kids are for.
And the next day I went back to work, and Andrew Tran, who is the third AD, he's the one I was telling you about. He's at the trailers. He makes clockwork. He makes things happen. Click, 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 click. Well, he and Aaron came over to the van, and they said, "Well, let's give you a name and let's get you on Instagram." And I went, "Okay, whatever that means." So I'm on Instagram, and Andrew is taking pictures, and Andrew is posting. I don't know how to do any of this. So I went home that day. At the end of the day, I think there was something like 800 followers.
Yes, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Then I went to bed. I got up in the morning. It was like 1,800.
Yeah.
So my son calls me the next day and he says, "Dad, I hate you." I said, "Why? What did I do?" And he goes, "I've been on Instagram since it started, and I've got like 45 followers." And he said, "This morning when I woke up and I looked at your Instagram, you had over 2,000." And it was just going bang, 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 bang. But it's been a lot of fun. You know what? Andrew, he does a lot of posting for me, and my son Tyson posts for me. And I think one of the most fun things that happened to me on Instagram, when I was at the Blue Knights convention in New York, I was riding back to Canada. I left the hotel really early in the morning because New York traffic is crazy, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm on the highway early and the sun is rising, and it's now about 10:30 in the morning, and I decide to pull off the highway, get a splash of gasoline and a coffee.
Okay.
And I do that, and I park the bike, and I've got my leathers on, I've got my helmet on, I've got my sunglasses on, and a car pulls in to this little stop. They park. A gal and a guy and an older lady.
Okay.
Got out. When I say older, and a lot younger than me, got out of their vehicle and walked by me, and they all kind of stopped and looked, but they just walked by me and went inside the store. So I'm standing and I'm having my coffee and just collecting my thoughts and enjoying the day, and the door opens up and they come out, the three of them, and the two gals walk past me, and the fellow stops and he goes, "Are you Insta-Garry?"
No way.
I am blown away.
Yeah, you're like,
I am blown away. I said, "Really?" They said, "When we pulled in, we saw there was a British Columbia license plate on your motorcycle, and I think we remembered that you had posted you were going to New York to the Blue Knights convention, and you just looked familiar." And I went, "Oh my goodness." it turned out that it was a mom and her daughter and son-in-law, and they were going to New York to their home, and so we had pictures taken. And I got back on the bike, and I'm coming back to Canada, and I thought, isn't this a crazy world? It's just crazy. I have been talking to people from around the world. I have answered questions from people around the world, different time zones and all the rest of it. And it's been a real experience. And it goes to show you what our little show that started out 9 years ago, who knew?
Right.
Who knew? I mean, we started and When Calls the Heart. What a funny name that is.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I met the writer of the stories, the books and everything else, and got to know all about that. And then we've had conventions, the Hearties and all that type of thing.
Right.
We've had virtual, and then we've had in person, and we've had them actually coming to Vancouver and spending some time. And it's just been a wonderful experience. It really has. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Right. Well, you are very famous in the Heartie world, so I'm not surprised.
No.
That you were recognized. Do you get recognized a lot more now?
Not locally.
Not
locally. No. No.
So everybody's calling you Insta-famous.
Yeah, you're Insta-famous. You have over 4,400 followers right now. You're at 4,461.
Okay.
just so you know.
I haven't checked lately.
Let's see. Melissa says she has made some wonderful friends thanks to this little show, and I agree. The same for us. I would have never met Julie if it wasn't for this show.
Yeah.
We live nowhere near each other.
No.
And the rest of our gang down below.
Right.
Yeah. The little show.
We love people contacting us from all over the world. It's been crazy. And I'm going to tell you on the chat, we have people from all over the world on the chat watching you right now. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It's, somebody's like 3 a.m. here. And so they're staying up in the middle of the night just to see you, Gary.
Oh, that's just, thank you. Thank you so much to all of you folks that are taking the time to do this. I really mean it. It just means so much to me, and it means so much to our people. I can go back to work, and I know that we've reached out. This story and the people have touched so many lives. It's the Hearties, and they have their Hearties get-togethers, and they talk about this and they talk about that, and wonder where the storyline is going, wonder what's going to happen, and all this kind of thing. And it's just been a real joy. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's so lovely to hear that it's fun all around. It's not just the fans, but the people that are involved in creating the show are having just as much fun. And I think that's what makes it so special.
Well, we get together, the producers, and haven't, because of COVID, there's been so many changes. People haven't been able to come out and tour now. And that's the COVID has put us into a really separate little cocoon. We even at work, we have our circus people. They just kind of hang out in the circus. We have our set people. We have all the different departments that have to kind of individualize and so we haven't been able to be visited by the Hallmark people and the producers and things like that, because they do their thing virtually, obviously.
Right.
But we haven't been able to, since COVID, we haven't been able to do that. But, we've always had fun. And everybody has been on the same Hallmark when they've come out to visit. We've gotten to know them over the years, and gotten to know us. The producers have gotten to know us a lot. Well, all of our transport team pretty much have been together since day one. So
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then the cast is largely the same.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Very little turnover.
That's so uncommon, I think.
Yeah. It is very uncommon.
Yeah.
So what is tell us a fun story that's happened while you've been driving.
Which story?
Tell us a fun story, something fun that happened when you were driving.
Oh, A fun story. When I
Yeah.
started driving, and I can't think of anything that's coming to mind as far as when calls, but I got before I got into the business, a buddy who was in the business called me up on a Thursday, and he said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "Nothing." He says, "You want to come and want to help break down a circus?" And I said, "Sure." So he picked me up in the morning, and we drove to where there were these vans and trucks and trailers parked and everything else. And I said, "Circus? Well, where are the animals?" He says, "Oh, you stupid." He says, "No, no, no. It's not that kind of a circus." Um, so that was kind of the funny start into the whole business. But, there's been, I don't know, something funny. Gosh, there's always, I don't know.
There's always something unexpected when you're going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really. Sometimes things get kind of messed up time wise, and you're a little late in traffic, but it never seems to be a problem because we always laugh about it. One thing about film is this: it's called hurry up and wait.
Right.
Hurry up and wait.
Right.
We go, 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 and we get there, and then sit.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen all the time, but obviously. So I'm not. Nothing's really coming to mind other than that day that Aaron said, "Let's do this Instagram thing," and that was that.
And now you're famous.
And now you're
my
Insta
God.
famous. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen, I'll be famous when the money starts rolling in. Come on.
Right. So do you watch the show? It's so interesting because I know that the costumer has said that she doesn't watch the show either. So
No, here, I'm going to tell you something. No, I haven't, but I'm going to.
Oh.
Because here's what I can't do. I'm not one of those kind of people that can sit and wait for the next one.
Right.
And I can't sit months and wait till the next season.
Okay.
I'm a binge watcher.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Me too.
So am I.
And
Yeah, we all are.
I'm a binge watcher, but I have seen a little bit from the perspective of not the show, but being there. There's been a couple of things that have happened in the show that I really wanted to see.
Oh.
I really wanted to see the wedding, for example, between characters. I wanted to see different things that were, like the Christmas stuff in the past. I wanted to see the tree when it was lit up because our arts department and they just do amazing work.
Yeah, they knock it out of the park.
They work so hard on it and then shoot it, and then it's all taken down like it never even existed.
Like it never happened.
Yeah.
So
I've been there for the tears. I've been there for the laughter. I've been there for the joy, the sadness. I have experienced all of that. Now I want to, when it ends, and I keep saying, when is this going to end? I hope it never ends. But sometime I'm going to sit down and I'm going to binge watch from day one and go from there. It's really fun because one of the drivers on the show right now, he and his wife, they started watching When Calls, and they just love it. And it's given, but he's just starting this year, so he's had 7 years. I think he's up to year 6 now.
Okay.
So when he comes to work, he's going, oh, he really likes it. He really likes it, and it's been fun. And my sisters, my family, they're into it because Gary's working on it.
Yeah, it is. And nice to have the support from the family.
That's right, and so they enjoy it. And one of the things that's a lot of fun is that you can count on Hallmark doing a show that's not going to be filled with a whole lot of violence and a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's fun.
Mhm.
It's
It's fun,
Yeah.
and some serious issues and have come up, and storyline wise, I understand.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even read the scripts. I could, but I haven't.
Yeah.
And the reason I haven't is because when the cast get into the van, I'll say, "So, what's your day like today? Do you have a big day? Lots of dialogue? No, I'm just sitting in a corner. I've got to wave at so and so when they come through the door, and then I go out and I give them, a wave, and then that's it." Oh, what kind of a day have you got? Oh man, I've got dialogue like you wouldn't believe. I got pages of dialogue. So if you don't mind if I don't talk to you on the drive, because I'm going to get my head into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that kind of thing. But I will one day. I mean, I will. Obviously, this has been a big chunk of my life.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Very
Big,
big.
big, 9 years, 9 seasons have been a big chunk. Yeah.
Right.
We have Trisha asking if the cast ever plays pranks on you. Do you get pranked?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you who's a bit of a prankster,
Mhm.
and that's Kevin.
Oh.
He every once he is a great. He's just a man. He's just a fun guy, a fun man. Um, um, every once in a while, when I'm sitting in the van, and I'll have, I have my glasses on my head kind of back.
Just a little nap. Catching some flies.
And all
Resting your eyes.
of a sudden he walks up to the, and you're going, oh, and it brings you out. It brings you back to reality really, really quick.
Nobody's surprised it's Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin is, yeah, he's a great prankster, and just a lot of fun. He always comes to work with a smile, and walks by the van, and he'll give me a look, or he'll shake his head. It's just, I don't know. It just always makes me laugh, or at least smile. And
Right.
you go, hey, how are you? I hate you.
You gotta have one friend like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, if this show wasn't filled with that kind of stuff that was going on, I wouldn't be working. I mean,
Right.
I don't think anybody needs to be working at a job where they don't like it. And
Right.
I've been very fortunate, cast and crew. It's been a real, it's been a lot of fun. Andrew, I have to mention to you, this is kind of fun. Andrew, you're watching probably.
Oh, hi, Andrew. You can come on with us one day.
Well, I'll tell you why he's watching. He says, Gary, put on your glasses.
Yeah, you put them on. You put them on, and you look good in your glasses.
He texted me, and he says, Gary, put on your glasses.
Put on your glasses.
Yeah.
See, it's this kind of thing. They're looking after me. They're taking care of me.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Yeah.
We have another question.
Yes.
We're backtracking, I guess. Nina wants to know if you liked making the soul patch video with Kevin, and whose idea was it?
It actually started out as mine.
Okay.
It started out as mine, and it ended with Kevin.
Yeah.
Like I told you the story at the beginning. Yeah. I started the story by just, okay, let's do it. I haven't done it for 5 or 6 years, maybe. Let's do it. See what I look like, and okay, let's set it up. And then that little thing that was
the video was fun.
For a moment there, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, the video was very fun.
Who picked the song? Did you come up with the song?
No. Who came up with the song? I think Kevin. I think Kevin and the hair makeup leads. They kind of, the three of them. I think it was on the makeup lead's phone, and she had, I think she's the one that had it and then piped it throughout the whole trailer, because the ladies, they like their music, and that
Okay.
well, and
That does not surprise me.
everybody does. I mean, you're sitting in a chair and they're going through all their makeup and their hair and that kind of thing. Obviously, the music in the background is kind of fun, and
Right.
it's, there's sometimes they're really really early in the morning, and it's kind of fun. They've got music to kind of light and brighten up the day and get everybody kind of going.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Get going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was super fun. That was fun to see that posted the other day. Yeah.
Let's see. We had another question we were thinking of asking. What is your current show that you're binge watching?
Oh, Good Morning, Good Morning America. The one with Jennifer Aniston and
right.
And
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah,
okay. I haven't seen it, but
I watched the first season, and then I was waiting for season 2, and then my son said, "Oh, Dad, season 2 is on." He says, "Really, really good. I'm into it." So I went back. I started at episode 1 again, first season, episode 1, just to kind of. I just like to immerse myself in.
Right.
I just like to get into it. So I went back to. That's what I'm watching right now. But yeah.
Very good.
There's been a lot of. I like watching series stuff.
Okay.
I'm not as much of an hour and a half or a 2-hour movie kind of a person, but I do like to get into series stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your all-time favorite?
What's
your all-time favorite series?
I don't have an all-time favorite. I love British detective shows.
Oh yeah.
And oh gosh, I'm so bad. God.
I'm just gonna say that when I look at you, I think I want to drop you on the set of Barney Miller.
Of who?
Barney Miller? Yeah.
Oh, Barney Miller.
I think you would have looked perfect on that set with the mustache and the. I mean, that was a long time ago, but you would have looked good on that.
And I have no idea what that is.
That's okay. It was one of the top shows ever.
Julie,
I'm not that young, but I'm.
Are you understanding? Are you understanding now what I'm going through?
For sure. I'm for sure older than Sarah.
I'm 40, so I feel very old.
I'm older than you, so yeah. But Barney Miller, yeah. I got. There was a lot of Telly Savalas back in the day. I mean,
yeah.
And I used to go down to the wood. I'd shave my head every day.
Oh, geez.
So I used to get that a lot, and I used to go to work and put in a lollipop, and look like Telly.
I was just saying you look like you could have been a character on Barney Miller, not that you look like him. Just like hang out there, you'd have a desk, you'd be the other guy over on the side, right? Because they all sat in there and just chatted. Nobody ever went anywhere and did anything.
One of my favorite shows I think you were asking Sarah all time, that was Hill Street Blues. Those back in the day.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Stay safe out there was always one of the lines that I even started using as a supervisor in the police department.
Sure.
I mean, it was just a great show.
It was.
I enjoyed it a lot. I've had a couple of fun things that have happened. Well, fun things, but I've learned by watching some things. There was keep quiet, silly computer. Now you want to work. Yeah.
Now the mic will turn on.
Adam 12, before time, Sarah. Adam 12 was a show that I watched regularly, and there was an episode where there was somebody that was injured. I can't remember now whether it was a police officer or whether it was a civilian was injured and was on the ground, laying on the grass in front of the house or whatever. And what they did is they got down, they covered up their windows of the patrol car, and they drove their patrol car between the bad guy and the injured person, opened the door, pulled the injured person into the patrol car, then drove off to help. My partner Dave Baker and I, back in the day, we had a very similar situation, and I went back to that experience and utilized my patrol car as a shield. And it was from that show that it came
Mhm.
to me.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of, and then when you think about it, a lot of shows on TV are written by people who have had experience, and this is why
Right.
they pay. This is why a lot of shows pay professional healthcare workers,
Right.
for example,
Absolutely.
Grey's Anatomy and some of the
Mhm.
doctor shows
Mhm.
back, because that's all cyclical, isn't it? You've got
Right.
Right.
medical shows and police shows, and then you've got firefighter shows.
Mhm.
You've got every year it seems to be a different profession, but there's always a professional on set to give advice so that
Right.
they can write the stories from
Right.
those experiences. Yeah.
So do you ever need to give advice to the Mounties?
Do I ever give advice to the Mounties?
Right. To like
On this?
Jack Wagner or Kevin.
Yeah. Not Jack. Not Jack. I was certainly asked. I have been asked in the
Mhm.
past. How would you do that?
Mhm.
Okay.
How would you put the handcuffs on
Right.
the person? Would you put the handcuffs in the front, or would you put the handcuffs in the back?
Okay.
How would you? So here's also what we have to also remember. This is not reality. This is
No.
play stuff.
Especially this show.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is play stuff.
Right. Right.
So it doesn't have to follow the police protocols.
No.
If you know what I'm saying.
Of
But
course.
even still, you kind of want it to look real, right?
Yes, and
Yes.
so
As a healthcare provider, nothing drives me more insane than when that is really wrong.
that is, you mean Ringer's lactate?
Nobody says that.
2 cc's of Ringer's lactate. Whatever show that was, they would always some guys would where they firefighters or something, and they would always Ringer lactate this. And
Yeah, wasn't that Rampart 51?
That's what it was. Yeah,
That was my favorite show as a little kid.
yeah.
There's a
So,
reason I'm on, the code team and the trauma team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those guys and their bicarb, flipping the ends, putting them together, going all Johnny Gage. I get to do that still.
Yeah, no, I have been asked on other shows as well. As a matter of fact, before I got into cast driving, I thought I would open up my own business as a consultant.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so interesting.
Consulting. A tough gig to get into.
Yeah.
There's other retired law enforcement officers that are in the business,
Okay.
and so I just got away from all of that, and just do the driving stuff. Yeah, I just do the driving stuff.
I kind of like the driving gig. This has been very interesting to talk.
Yeah.
Well, should we do our little game, Sarah? We have a little game at the end here. Should we do
You
that?
start it off, and then I will.
Uh-huh.
We'll go every other.
We'll go every other. So we're gonna play this or that. Which one would you prefer? We're Suspenders Unbuttoned so suspenders or buttons. So we're gonna give you two things, and you can pick which one you like the best. So I'm gonna start mustache or soul patch.
Personally,
Yeah.
I like the soul patch.
Oh.
Okay.
I did, but I'll stick with the mustache.
We'll
Okay.
stick with the mustache. Okay, how about car or motorcycle?
Love my motorcycle, but I also love my car. I have a convertible, so I'm sorry.
Oh, cool.
So you're saying that when we make it to a Heartie's family reunion, you'll drive us in your convertible?
We'll call you, Gary.
This is a gray one. This is a gray one. My last one was white. I'm going through the rainbow with my cars. I lease them, so I get I get a different car every couple of years. So
Okay.
yeah.
So what's next, Red?
The next one is coming in depending upon the chip situation in the world, because they're
Right.
this is really a problem now. My next one is blue.
Oh,
Blue. Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. If it was 1918, would you pick a horse or a car?
Oh, a horse.
Yeah.
Horses
are amazing on set.
I love horses. Yeah. Yeah, horse.
Fun.
I think I would too. Okay, morning or evening?
For work or general?
Personally, or whatever you want to answer.
I used to be a night owl, and now I'm more of a nap in the afternoon person and go to bed after the 11 o'clock news.
Okay.
Perfect. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Beer
No
or
hesitation
wine?
there.
Sorry?
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Wine.
Oh,
Same.
same. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Fish or steak?
Equally both, but a steak, I think. Maybe I'll go beef, yeah.
Okay.
But I do love fish.
All right.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
All right. Movie theater or stay at home and stream?
Stay at home and stream. I can
Yeah.
pause and go to the bathroom. I don't have to spend so much for popcorn.
Go get a snack.
I can get a snack.
What is your favorite snack to eat while you're binging something?
Oh, popcorn.
Popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gotta
Well,
love
those
that.
were all of our questions. Is there anything else you wanted to share that we didn't ask? Or
No, just thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, you picked the wrong guest because
no, we picked the
I-
right
I-
one.
I-
Perfect. Yes.
you picked the wrong guest because I have been accused of motor mouth and all the rest of it for many years, and but thank you for the invitation.
Well, we
thank you for the
thank you.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions. Thank you to the audience for taking the time out to do this. I really appreciate that. And yeah, with your support, we will keep this little town of Hope and everything that's happening in Hope. We will keep that alive for as long as you keep watching.
Yeah, well, we're excited, and
Yeah.
hopefully next season will be great. And really, thank you for coming, and you are welcome to come anytime. If you ever want to come back and chat with us, let us know. Or
That's all.
now that you have the link, you can join.
That's only if you get bored.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. We
Thank
learned so much today, and this has been a lot of fun. Really
Thank you,
enjoyed
Julie.
having you
Thank
here.
you, Julie. Thank you, Sarah.
You're very
And also thank you to the lady behind the scenes
Yeah.
for all and for helping
Catherine
me
and Cinda. Yeah.
and for helping me get set up here and to be able to do this. Thank you very much, you guys. And Insta-Garry, over and out.
All right. Sarah,
Thank
do
you,
you have some announcements for us?
We do have some announcements. In case you didn't hear, Gabby had a beautiful baby. Her name is Audrey, and we are so excited for her. And that's why she's missing today. She's home, recovering, and hopefully getting some rest. She
Probably not.
Yeah, she needs some sleep.
Yes.
I remember the day, first
Audrey's
day.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The two of them are absolutely lovely. And congratulations to Gabby and Scott and their beautiful little family. Do we have any more announcements?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So
Well-
go ahead and do our outro.
All right. Well, thank you for joining Suspenders Unbuttoned and our Valley Voice edition with Gary or Insta-Garry. You can find Gary at WCTH_Insta-Garry on Instagram. And he's got a really fun Instagram. And it sounds like the producers, a third director, Andrew and his son do most of his posts. So that was a lot of fun to learn that too. And that Aaron set up his Instagram, kind of fun.
Right.
So
It's perfect.
yes, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.